I'm Julie Nelson. Welcome to KARE 11 Extras. These are the stories that take a little extra time to tell, to research, to find. They are meant to inspire, inform, and ignite curiosity. And in this episode, a procedure to treat chronic pain leaves a patient in a wheelchair. And KARE 11 Investigates discovers that is not the only allegation against a local pain clinic. Then, a Paralympic power team. Meet the brother-sister combo from Minnesota with quite the story to share. But we begin in the land of 10,000 stories. There's something about a Great Dane that stops people in their tracks, or at least entices a double take. Boyd Hubert recently found some people using that power for good inside a St. Cloud hospital, where some supersized therapy dogs are on a big mission.
In a neighborhood of modest homes, the St. Cloud Hospital cuts an imposing figure.
Excuse us?
But an imposing figure can also be found inside.
Good boy, Hoolie.
Wayne Camillick's lanky friend
Good boy.
is a good boy.
Okay,
Sometimes mistaken
that's okay.
for big
You're fine.
bad. But Hulu is no wolf,
No, you're like a little horse.
even if animal analogies
You look like a miniature donkey.
seem to be his specialty.
It's not a Holstein.
Cows to cats.
Holy cats, there's a big dog out there.
Hulu, here.
Big dog, big
Hi.
job.
This is Hulu. He's come to visit you.
A good puppy, huh?
Leah Anderson became a premature patient when the twin boys she's carrying teased an early arrival.
I've been here, tomorrow I'll be here for 4 weeks. Being in here gets lonely.
A good prescription for lonely is a Great Dane.
It brings me joy, I don't know, happiness.
Yeah.
When Kenny Hendrickson's volunteer office signs up new therapy dogs, they tend to be more like this.
Attaboy.
But Hulu offers patients like Bob Tuborg something smaller dogs can't match.
Hey, buddy.
What's really nice about Hulu, they can just reach their hand over and he's almost the exact height of the bed.
Now, imagine Wayne walking the hospital halls with two Great Danes. He did, until Hulu's sister Tootsie got cancer and died last year.
I don't know who took it harder, me or him.
Only made worse, because Wayne knows what's also coming for Hulu. Down to 155 pounds from his 180 when this photo was taken with a friend.
This is a Great Dane probably towards the end of his days. Yeah.
Life expectancy for a Great Dane?
Yep.
8 to 10 years.
He'll be 8 in April. Good girl.
Which is why this Painesville nursing home is helping train a Great Dane puppy.
This is Wren.
What you looking at?
Wren is the granddaughter of Wayne's beloved Tootsie.
She weighed 23 pounds at 8 weeks, and now she's 123. A puppy at 12 months.
Once trained and certified, Wren will take over from Hulu.
When a dog and a person do this, it's called a lock.
Yes, I love you.
Nobody else in the room but those two right now.
There's another reason Wayne is drawn here.
These are the staff that took care of my wife for years.
Before Pat loved Wayne, she loved Great Danes. She competed with them. Then Wayne brought Tootsie and Hulu to visit Pat in memory care before she died 2 months before Hulu.
She would say, my babies are here.
Wren and Hulu
Such a gentleman.
are not just providing therapy for patients, staff,
Oh, you found the spot.
and families.
They have been my island. They have been my safe space. They're my therapy, yeah. This is his reward for being such a good dog. So that's it.
Not quite.
We're gonna let her mop the floor now.
Floor to ceiling. Few at the St. Cloud Hospital
Hi.
can bring out such oversized feelings.
You can pet him if you want.
Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, St. Cloud.
The sweetest dog, aren't you?
He is. He's such a good boy.
Oh my goodness.
If you're interested in volunteering with your pet to provide therapy at hospitals and care centers, you'll find a link to help you get started in the print version of this story at KARE11.com. You can now watch full half-hour specials from Boyd's Land of 10,000 Stories wherever you stream. You can also watch every story from the beginning in 2004 by searching for The Land of 10,000 Stories, the complete collection on YouTube.
A procedure to treat chronic pain left this patient in a wheelchair.
They said I'll never walk again. It took my life away.
And this isn't the only accusation against a local pain clinic. KARE 11 investigates next.
They went to the doctor for back pain, but left with permanent damage, even paralyzed. KARE 11 Investigates looks into claims against a well-known Twin Cities pain clinic from multiple patients who say their spinal cord stimulators left them with debilitating injuries.
I slip, slide everywhere.
In another time, snowy sidewalks were a minor inconvenience, but not now.
Oh, I could walk, do everything fine before. Now, I can't even walk.
Not since a procedure meant to relieve Kevin Pribula's pain left him paralyzed.
They said I'll never walk again. It took my life away.
Kevin says multiple surgeries hadn't fixed his chronic back pain. So he went to the Edina office of Neura Pain Clinics. He says Dr. David Schultz suggested a spinal cord stimulator. This video from Abbott, one of the makers of the devices, explains how it works.
The doctor will place thin wires, called leads, into the epidural space.
Then an implanted battery sends electrical charges to block the pain receptors. Kevin had high hopes, but when he woke up from the procedure,
I had the worst pain I ever felt in my life across my chest. It felt like someone was stomping on it.
And he couldn't feel his legs. Medical records show he suffered a traumatic spinal cord injury, likely during the stimulator placement.
What are the things you miss most from before?
Walking, being able to play with my grandkids.
It really can change a person's life.
Everything changed for Amber Fuller just 3 weeks before Kevin's procedure. Same doctor, same clinic. Records show she also had a spinal cord stimulator placed to help with her chronic neck pain, but woke up in agony.
My whole body felt like it was on fire.
Later at the hospital, Amber was diagnosed with a traumatic spinal cord injury known as Brown-Séquard syndrome.
My right foot still burns like hell.
She has numbness and lacks stamina to go long distances without a wheelchair or to keep up with her kids.
Prior to when I was doing all the mom stuff, I can't do all the mom stuff anymore. So, changed a lot of things.
Spinal cord stimulators are popular devices, roughly 50 to 60,000 implanted every year, and many are successful. But a KARE 11 review of FDA data shows Kevin and Amber aren't alone in complications. Searching spinal cord stimulators, we found in the last decade roughly 200,000 adverse event reports indicating injuries. That includes more than 900 reports of temporary or permanent paralysis.
I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
Kevin and Amber are now suing their doctor and Neura Pain Clinics, each arguing Dr. Schultz should have known they were at increased risk for complications. Kevin, because of extensive cervical and thoracic surgical history, which left behind scar tissue. In Amber's case, the lawsuit claims her small cervical spinal canal placed her at high risk of traumatic injury. And a third woman recently filed a lawsuit saying after a different doctor at Neura placed a spinal cord stimulator, she too was permanently paralyzed. Neura Clinics denied our request for an interview but provided a statement, saying in part, all medical treatment options carry different degrees of risk, which we review together with each patient prior to treatment and ensure they understand and consent to each medication or procedure. We are aware of the allegations and take them very seriously. In a court filing for one of those cases, Nora says damages, if any, are the result of pre-existing and/or subsequent medical conditions, not their fault. But these patients say they'd never have signed up for this.
Had he said that, I probably would have left the room.
I never thought that in a million years. I thought I'd be better off. I was told I'd be better off.
There have been lawsuits all across the country blaming the manufacturers for injuries caused by the devices. But in these cases, against Nora, the plaintiffs say it's the doctors who are culpable because they went ahead with the procedure despite warning signs. For KARE 11 Investigates, I'm Lauren Lemanchek.
If you have something you'd like our I-Team to look into, just send an email to investigations@kare11.com. Still to come, from Olympic gold in women's hockey to wedding bells. Turns out Taylor Heisey's love of the game isn't the only love story that unfolded in Minnesota. You might know them for what they do on the ice and on the court. Taylor Heisey recently helped Team USA women's hockey win gold in Milan. And Parker Fox has his own impressive sports story with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. But together, they are preparing for their next special highlight. And as Julia Daniels reports, this one all started at a college party.
Ever heard the saying, so-and-so sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G? Well, that's where this story starts, except the tree is a tree house. And by tree house, I mean the Gopher Women's Hockey House near the University of Minnesota. Meet Parker Fox and Taylor Heisey. You may already recognize them. Fox, a Matamidi native, transferred to the Minnesota Golden Gophers men's basketball program in 2021 and has since begun his own journey into sports broadcasting. Heisey, from Red Wing, became a star with the Minnesota Golden Gopher women's hockey team.
Taylor Heisey.
Before making history as the first overall pick in the inaugural Professional Women's Hockey League draft,
Taylor Heisey.
landing with, of course, the Minnesota Frost. And she just finished up representing Team USA at the Olympics in Milan. But before the draft picks and the broadcasts, there was beer pong.
In classic college fashion, we got paired up for beer die or beer pong or one or the other. And I think we ran the table and won 9 games in a row. And we're like, okay, something's going on here. Something's working.
It wasn't love at first sight.
It actually kind of took a little bit of time after that. I was just transferring in. I had been in a long-term relationship before that. So I was just not ready to commit right away. And we kind of just started off as friends.
Friends who lived right across the street from each other.
She loves to bake. So anytime she would bake anything like cinnamon rolls or bundt cakes or anything like that, she'd text me.
I swear he would smell it and just
run over there.
But things weren't always so sweet. Parker tore both his ACLs in back-to-back seasons.
That was a kind of a low point in my life, and it made me kind of just really think about what was important and the people that I wanted to surround myself with. And then I remember kind of reconnecting with her.
For Taylor, who has largely avoided injury, it was a new perspective.
he didn't play for like over 1,000 days, and a lot of the kids that came to the games came to see him, and he didn't play a minute. And I think that's like a testament to who he is, a testament to what he does, and like it just reminds me every day, like it's an honor and a privilege to do what I do, and I forget that, and I have a reminder next to me every day, which is awesome.
Then, February 5th, 2023, things got even more serious.
We went out to a brewery and just kind of were hanging out, and that's
playing
when
some cards?
Yeah, being competitive again, and that's when we officially, started dating.
Having both played sports at elite levels comes a certain understanding.
Heisey scores! Training, having someone understand that you're not going to be near your phone from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. if you got practice and you got lift and all that.
We always wanted each other to be the best version of that as we could. There was never any like jealousy or any like angst towards the other person. It was always like, I want you to go out there and score 100 goals and me 100 points and the whole bit. So it was, I think that kind of that competitiveness, really, we found a way to kind of put it in the right direction towards each other.
And this August, the two will tie the knot.
The connection that we had, I felt like it was very genuine. And when you truly care about someone, I feel like you would do anything for them. And I feel like we got to that point pretty soon after dating.
So first came love, and here comes marriage. And to think it all started with a game. a beer pong game.
Both competitive. I'm like, well, if I can find a partner that can win, this is good for today.
That's right.
It lasted me longer than that.
As for the next chapter,
there's just so many things that you dream about, and I'm like a romantic movie person. TV shows doesn't matter, like I'm a sucker for it, and that's what I dreamed about as a kid, and now to be able to live it out with like my favorite person, it's so fun to just like build upon it every day. And we're so competitive, like we want whatever's best, and we're gonna try to get that.
From the tree to the aisle to forever. Julia Daniels, KARE 11 Sports.
Another powerful story comes out of this year's Paralympics. Visually impaired and racing down a mountain at more than 50 miles per hour. How this Minnesotan does it with the help of her brother. Next. Downhill skiing can be challenging enough. Now imagine barreling down a mountain at more than 50 miles per hour while visually impaired. That is the reality for Team USA Paralympic skier Meg Gustafson. A reality her teammate, who is also her brother, helps her navigate in a way many find fascinating. Sports producer Ryan Williamson recently caught up with this Minnesota sibling ski sensation ahead of this year's Paralympics.
The bond of a brother and sister can extend to many places. For Meg and Spencer Gustafson, that bond extends to the slopes. Their history with the sport dates back to their days as toddlers when their parents Pater and Sage got them on skis right here in Minnesota.
They all got on skis at about 2. It was just one of those things you can do as a family.
While they thought this would be a recreational sport for the family,
we just kind of wanted them to be able to ski and be good skiers.
Spencer got the urge to try ski racing at just 5 years old.
He liked the freedom of it, kind of no rules.
Meg eventually joined big brother Spencer on the racing side, and the two found a passion for it, skiing for Team Gilboa, based out of Highland Hills in Bloomington. During the pandemic in 2020, they decided to take it up a notch, temporarily relocating to Vail so Meg and Spencer could train at a higher level. But then things took a turn.
Meg's always had impaired vision since she was born. Late winter, early spring of 2021, Meg started having some vision problems where the quality of her vision started deteriorating quite a bit, and her retinas were just kind of collapsing on her.
From a young age, Meg had dealt with a genetic issue called Marfan syndrome. This can affect connective tissue connected to certain parts of the body, like the eyes. The condition worsened in 2021, with her having 6 separate surgeries on her eyes, and at times she spent 30 consecutive days lying face down. But throughout her medical journey, Meg and her family just wanted to know one thing.
When can she be allowed to ski? Meg always asked, that was her very first question to any doctor at any appointment was, well, when will I be able to get back on skis?
Eventually, Meg got back on the slopes, and the Gustafsons decided to call Vail their new permanent home as Meg and Spencer skied at Ski Club Vail during the day and took classes at night. While Meg continued to compete in able-bodied races, the family was learning about options for Meg, including on the Paralympic side and for those who are visually impaired. They learned Meg would need a guide, a person to ski ahead and give concise, short commands on anything she might not expect via headset inside their helmets.
Meg, almost without hesitation, said, Spencer can be my guide. He's one of the best skiers I know, so he's a natural fit.
It made the most sense for me to become her guide for these games.
Meg and Spencer began competing just a few months ago in the Paris Ski World and found success quickly. This was the first year Meg was eligible to compete in the World Cup and Paralympics in Paris skiing.
They didn't really have anyone tell them how to do it. They just sort of figured it out on their own. And one of the coaches said, hey, when's the last time you guys have practiced together? And Spencer said, never. We've only raced.
We've definitely had to work on our communication a lot. Have to give clear instructions.
It didn't take long for this duo to click. In their first World Cup start, they finished second in a race in Germany. That finish was good enough to qualify them for the Paralympics.
I remember in the finish of the second run, looking at the board, knowing she would end up at least on the podium, and I gave her a hug and said, you're going to the Paralympics.
For most of us, it's our first time. You just want to absorb the experience, and that's what I'm going into it trying to do.
While Meg makes her debut on the Paralympic stage, her brother Spencer will be with her all the way.
I can almost guarantee they wouldn't be here if Spencer wasn't part of the equation.
He works extremely hard. You know, he's sacrificing his senior year too and his
senior season
he is sacrificing a lot.
Spencer and Meg will continue their work together at the games, while their parents and younger sister Hope watch from the sidelines along with other extended family in attendance.
I think we're just excited to reunite as a family. We're treating this as an experience and to embrace it, and no pressure.
They hope this is just the start of a long skiing career.
It's going to be incredible. Once in a lifetime, hopefully multiple times in a lifetime experience that we're really looking forward to.
The Superstar siblings competed in 5 events, and in each one, they finished in the top 10. Remember, you can continue to catch up on the KARE 11 Extras wherever you stream. I'm Julie Nelson. Thanks for watching.